Have you ever wondered about the complexities and intricacies of the relationship between the United States and Pakistan? Let's take a step back to a time before the 21st century, before the rise of terrorism, to the inception of a relationship that has been described as frenemies. The United States and Pakistan, two nations with distinct historical, cultural and political landscapes, began their diplomatic journey in the mid-20th century. This relationship was not born out of mutual respect and understanding, but rather out of strategic necessity. Pakistan, a newly formed nation, was grappling with issues of identity and sovereignty, while the United States, a superpower, was looking for allies in the Cold War era. A mutual need for survival and power was the spark that ignited this complex relationship. As we stroll down the memory lane, it's evident that this relationship has had its fair share of highs and lows. The United States, with its global influence, has played a significant role in shaping Pakistan's political and economic landscape. From providing economic aid to military support, the United States has been a critical ally for Pakistan. However, this support has not been without strings attached, leading to an intricate dance of power and dependence. On the other hand, Pakistan, with its geopolitical significance, has been a key player in the United States' global strategies. Its proximity to the Middle East and other strategic regions has made it an indispensable ally for the United States. But this alliance has often been marked by mistrust and miscommunication, resulting in a turbulent and complex relationship. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Over time, this relationship has been marred by controversy, conflict, and criticism. It has been a rollercoaster ride filled with dramatic twists and turns. Each decade has brought forth new challenges and opportunities, shaping and reshaping the dynamics of this relationship. As we move along, it will become clear that this relationship is far from simple and is in fact a web of complex interactions and policies. The United States and Pakistan, a relationship marked by periods of both cooperation and discord. Our journey takes us back to the late 1940s, when the world was a chessboard of geopolitical maneuvers. The newly independent state of Pakistan emerged as a strategic ally for the United States, offering a counterbalance to the Soviet influence in the region. The foundations of this alliance were built on shared interests rather than shared values. The United States, fresh out of the Second World War and in the throes of the Cold War, was in search of allies who could help contain the spread of communism. Pakistan, on the other hand, was a fledgling nation, eager for international recognition and financial aid to bolster its economy and strengthen its military. As the 1950s rolled in, the US-Pakistan alliance was formalized through mutual defense agreements and substantial economic aid. But beneath the facade of cooperation, discord was brewing. Pakistan felt sidelined by the US's preferential treatment of India, its arch-rival, while the US was wary of Pakistan's ambitions in the region. The relationship became further complicated in the 1970s. The United States' support for Pakistan during its war with India in 1971 was lukewarm at best. This perceived indifference from the US fueled resentment in Pakistan, adding another layer of complexity to their relationship. In the background of these events, the seed of a power struggle was sown. The United States, a global superpower, and Pakistan, a regional player with aspirations of its own, were bound together by a tenuous thread of strategic interest. This alliance, built on shifting sands of geopolitics, was destined to face challenges. As we delve deeper into the history of the US-Pakistan relationship, we'll uncover how these early years of cooperation and discord set the tone for the decades to follow. The early years of this relationship were fraught with tension, setting the stage for future conflicts. How did terrorism become a central issue in the relationship between the United States and Pakistan? This question is pivotal to understanding the evolution of their relationship. The seeds of terrorism were planted in the fertile soil of political instability, economic disparity, and social unrest in the region. As these seeds started to sprout, they gave rise to various militant groups. These groups, initially formed to resist foreign invasions and perceived threats to their sovereignty, eventually turned into a hydra-headed monster of terrorism that began to consume its own creators. The Afghan War fought during the final 2 decades of the 20th century, played a significant role in fueling the rise of terrorism. The war was a crucible that forged a new breed of battle-hardened and ideologically motivated fighters. These warriors, once hailed as freedom fighters, later transformed into a network of extremist groups that spread across the region. The United States, in its bid to contain the spread of communism during the Cold War, supported these groups, arming them and providing financial aid. However, this strategy would ultimately backfire. The very groups that the United States had once supported turned against it, using the weapons and training they had received to wage a war of terror. In response, the United States adopted a dual approach. On one hand, it started a war on terror, deploying its military might to root out these groups. And on the other, it continued to maintain diplomatic relations with Pakistan, a country that was often accused of harboring these militant outfits. This delicate balancing act added a new layer of complexity to the already convoluted relationship between the two nations. The rise of terrorism complicated an already complex relationship, adding a new volatile element to the mix. It transformed the dynamics of the relationship, making it more fraught, more precarious, and ultimately more challenging to navigate for both nations. What does no exit from Pakistan mean for the United States? This is a question that probes into the heart of the entangled relationship between these two nations. Let's dive into the central thesis of Daniel Markey's book, the notion that the United States cannot afford to disengage from Pakistan, no matter how complex or strained the relationship becomes. At the core of this assertion is the strategic importance of Pakistan. Situated at the crossroads of South Asia, the Middle East and Central Asia, Pakistan's geopolitical location is nothing short of pivotal. The country serves as a gateway to the Arabian Sea, a region of paramount importance to global trade and security. Its proximity to Afghanistan, Iran, India, and China makes it a crucial player in regional politics and security affairs. But it's not just about geography. Pakistan's role in the narrative of global terrorism and its possession of nuclear weapons further complicate the picture. The fear of these weapons falling into the wrong hands is a nightmarish scenario that Washington can ill afford to ignore. This fear, coupled with the concern of Pakistan becoming a safe haven for extremists, underscores the necessity of continued American engagement. Moreover, the United States' disengagement could potentially create a power vacuum, paving the way for other global powers to step in. Nations like China, with its ambitious Belt and Road Initiative, or Russia, with its desire to regain lost ground, would be more than willing to fill the void. In essence, no exit from Pakistan is a stark reminder of the intricate web of political, strategic, and security interests that bind the United States to Pakistan. It is a call for continued engagement, patience, and a nuanced understanding of the realities on the ground. The United States, it seems, is inextricably tied to Pakistan, for better or for worse. This is the sobering reality that no exit from Pakistan presents us with. It's a relationship fraught with challenges, but one that neither side can afford to abandon. What does the future hold for the relationship between the United States and Pakistan? As we delve into the crystal ball of geopolitics, we find that the path forward is not clearly marked. The relationship between these two nations, like the winding Indus River, is fraught with unpredictable turns. And the currents of international politics can shift rapidly. Based on current trends and expert predictions, we see a few potential scenarios. One possibility is that the relationship could improve, with increased cooperation on shared challenges such as terrorism and economic development. This would require a significant shift in attitudes and policies on both sides, along with a commitment to mutual respect and understanding. Another scenario is that the relationship could deteriorate. This could happen if the United States or Pakistan takes actions that the other perceives as hostile, or if external factors, such as the rise of other regional powers, strain the relationship. Yet another possibility is that the relationship could continue in its current state of flux, oscillating between periods of cooperation and conflict. This would likely involve a mix of cooperation on some issues, disagreement on others, and a general sense of uncertainty about the future. Regardless of which scenario comes to pass, one thing is clear. The relationship between the United States and Pakistan is complex and multifaceted. It is influenced by a wide range of factors, including geopolitics, history, culture, and individual leadership. It is not a relationship that can be easily defined or predicted. In this video, we've journeyed through the tumultuous history of the US-Pakistan relationship, from its origins in the Cold War to its current state of uncertainty. We've explored the rise of terrorism, the impact of the book, No Exit from Pakistan by Daniel Markey, and the potential future scenarios for the relationship. Only time will tell how this intricate relationship will evolve. But one thing is certain, it will continue to shape and be shaped by the geopolitical landscape.